What are you doing, Jason? Sounds like gurgling. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me just fine. Okay, yeah, because yours sounds like it's being filtered like gargled marbles.
Filtered through marble noise.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what it sounds like.
No, I said I'm driving to work, or not to work, to class. Taking the
Oh,
bike to
nice.
work and then going to my class.
Go knock this thing out, dude. I know you got it.
Thanks. I'm so pissed. But that reading thing definitely helps.
What was your score?
71, I think. That's where I was confused because the other guy kept saying that I had 73. But then when I finally saw it on my computer, it said the last two were at 68. This one was at 71. I was like, what the hell? I thought I had 73 the whole time. So apparently I'm getting better, but I was way off before, I guess. So,
Yeah, I think if you go and actually hear the instructions, it'll be better.
I just hated his teaching style. The way that he talks. Everything's a question. So you get up in the morning for what? Oh, to brush your teeth. That's how he. Have you ever met him? You know who Frank First is? He is Tucson Real Estate School, old dude. Anyway, yeah, every sentence that he has a what in it, and then he answers the question. Let me answer. So what was going on last week? We were saying that everybody was overwhelmed.
No, it's just you can tell. Everyone seems overwhelmed. They're quiet.
Is that normal during this time, or is it just?
I think so.
Wow, where is everybody? Sorry.
I don't know. Can you hear me now? I just switched over internets.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Nicole.
Hello.
You guys get through your Binzer okay?
Not yet. They are being kind of difficult on it. So they were like, yeah, we'll do the roof. So have a roofer come out. So I had the roofer go out, but he can't get the quote to me until sometime today. And then they were like, oh, I don't know if we're going to do the roofer. Let's try and do the drywall in the garage. And they're like, we have a person to do it. We'll schedule it with them to get a quote and everything. And I was like, okay. So then I text them Saturday and Sunday, like, did you talk to the handyman yet? Did you talk to the handyman yet? And they're like, no, we haven't. We've been busy. And I was like, we need to get it scheduled. So here we are Monday, and I haven't heard from them yet. So I don't know what's happening.
Don't you hate that? No sense in urgency. I guarantee if you didn't do something on a time frame they needed, it would be all heck.
Mm-hmm. And these are still the people that that weren't ready for photos and took photos a week later than they were supposed to. So I guess they kind of expected it from the front that things are going to be a little weird. And what happens if they don't get the LSU to you within the first 10 days?
They can cure you and cancel the contract, or you can cure them because it's your listing side and cancel.
Because day 10 was Friday, and the buyer's agent was like, yeah, we'll have it to you by Friday. And it's like Monday, and they haven't gotten it to me yet.
Some realtors take weekends off. Not you guys.
Our lenders take the weekend off.
How was everyone's weekend? Slow rolling. I see home is where the heart is, Dick. I love it.
Let me be your matchmaker. I'll find you a house you'll love.
Matchmaker, make
Make me a match. I'm a yenta.
find me a fine.
Find me a catch me a catch.
So
I used to wear a babushka and play it on the accordion, singing a high falsetto voice.
everyone's been kind of like slow rolling today. Like I feel like the whole world is just having a rough Monday.
I have a great success story.
I love it.
Over the weekend, my computer crashed. It would not boot up. The battery chargers I had there would not charge it up. And I'm thinking that either I blew up my battery or I fried my motherboard. I got into the office this morning, plugged it into the charger here, and it works.
Oh, I thought this story was you finally got a computer that was, good enough to run your video backgrounds.
Yeah, I tell you. But I'm so happy because I've got to produce this 84-page inspection report on the Binzer and meet with my seller to go over it. I think we're right in the negotiation zone. So I think it's going to work. But without the computer, I couldn't print it up.
Right, very difficult to do so.
I know. I was going to do it longhand.
Anyone else have a good win this weekend? I like wins. Let's go for some wins.
And we got a bunch. So Teresa helped me with. They've been looking a long time. They need an unusual property, like over half an acre with and hopefully a pool. And we found everything but the pool. And we came in 5,000 over asking to try to win the bid. So it's something.
I like it. Win!
Before they were trying to lowball, and I was trying to tell them, no, you can't lowball. And also a lesson, you guys may know that I'm not the most, loud, pushy person. So I'd asked them to get their pre-qual stronger because they'd only done a credit check. I think I mentioned this to you, Teresa. And because I'm like, in this market, you need to have a really strong pre-qual. And they hadn't bothered to get the information in. Oh, and her brother happened to pass away on Saturday when we found the house, so she was not available. Yeah. I'm like, I'm sorry we're doing this right now because I only showed her husband and we put the offer in without her physically seeing the house. But anyway, literally the only thing they countered was the pre-qual. They're like, they need to get their docs in because they'd already fallen out once. And I'd never had that happen. I'm like, I know, I've been bugging them, but you know, I did have one good excuse. You know, her brother died. He's been in hospice this week. They've been a little busy. So anyway, they were obviously understanding, and we got the prequel stuff into the lender, and he put it all in the prequel form. But that was, you know, first time, one, I'd already told them to do it, so at least I looked like I knew what I was talking about. And, you know, two, the lender wasn't real thrilled at being bothered on a Sunday trying to spend family time to update that, but he did. And so, yay, we're finally under contract.
Nice.
So,
Good job.
a couple lessons learned there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were a nice couple. I was happy to help you a little bit, but the one that she did go look at, she liked it because it had the pool, but I could tell he was in love with the one you showed him, Mara, and because all the garages. And so I said, well, he goes, but there's a spot for a pool. I said, well, you know, you can have a pool and a hot tub put in for what, 35, 40,000, a nice one. And then I saw her eyes light up. So I knew, well, they're going to get the other one.
Well, actually, another story. That's not the one. They did
Oh, it's not?
their bid last week. This is their third try. So the one I showed on that same day that Teresa did, they did make a bid, and they said it was really close on price, but the other people wrote a love letter.
Oh,
And it was some siblings who had inherited the house, and they're like, oh, we grew up there, and it was a young family, and they told us how much they were going to love raising their family there. And I was like, well, at first I didn't think I had a great story, but with this last property, I went ahead and wrote. So I'm like, they're going to use every part of the property. He's got a car collection. It's going to be, you know, protected in the garage, and she's got a side business, and she can use the she shed, and they're planning to put a pool in the extended yard. And so I, you know, embellished as well as I could to try to make their story sound great and be chosen. So yeah, there's that.
isn't it amazing in this market? You've got to almost wine and dine the seller to get them to agree to sell the house to your buyer. Oh,
We have to deliver. That's one thing as we're actually going to go through today in the Ignite course is delivering a powerful value proposition. Oftentimes we need to do a little bit of showmanship or show personship, to be politically correct, but we have to, you know, shine on, give some presentation, give some pomp and circumstance to get some attention. Because, I mean, do you mind, Nicole, if I talk boldly about your 3 offers that came in?
Go for it.
So Nicole had me review, you know, house on the market, one weekend or whatever it was, 3 offers right away. Cash deal, conventional, FHA. You know, the perfect 3. Each had a staggering difference. We broke it all down within $2,000 of each other. Actually, we got a cash deal that was far better, well, you know, better than a conventional offer. And they took the conventional offer because of the letter. But also when you look at the way that it was presented from the agent standpoint, let's just say offer 1 had the FHA, no letter, very basic email, please find attached offer. The offer was missing all kinds of information. It had tons of stuff missing in the contract itself, so it didn't look like it was well put together. Offer 2, conventional offer, had a well-written email, very so much, we look forward to working together, we're excited to help this client out. Like the agent told a story before even looking at the letter, so it was a very, very different engagement just looking at that. All the documents were in order, everything was filled out correctly, and it just looked professionally done. And then offer 3 was very similar to option 2. No, I don't remember if they had a letter or not, but no,
It wasn't.
letter, cash offer, decent price, but no other. It was just kind of like, here's a cash offer. But like that second offer that got won was very much so like, we are in it to win it. We want to work together. Hiccup is part of the game today. But it was nice. And I was going over with Nicole, and I was like, this is what you're looking at. Like just talking to your clients about this offer, it's $1,000 worse than this offer. This offer is better. But look at the way it's laid out. Look at the way the agent's taking the care and doing things. You can tell right away how the transaction's going to progress. We didn't know they were going to be this nitpicky about everything. But then again, I'm sure Nicole and her clients knew that the house needed some work, especially if there's a hole in the garage and nobody talked about. So it's not just writing a letter. It's the entire package. Got to make sure our documents are in order. Got to make sure that our contracts are filled out correctly, concisely. You know, professionals do it right. I was helping an agent yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or Saturday. I don't know. It was one of these days. Rewrite pretty much her entire purchase contract through an addendum because of everything that was wrong. Line 2, line 7, line 12, like all of these things that we had to go through and correct with an addendum that weren't done up front. Had I had seen that offer come through, I would have hedged my clients against it because I'm like, this agent doesn't know what they're doing. No assessor's number, no legal description, no final loan amount. Half the information in the body of the contract is missing. How can we make ourselves stand out?
Do it right all the time.
Do it right all the time. Let me ask you this. If you're going to write a letter for one contract, is it just that one contract?
No.
What should it be, Nicole?
Do it for all of them. Because that you never know what's going to be that one little thing in the letter that's going to make that person decide, oh, this is a couple $100 less, but I want this one because of the people.
Exactly. People make the change. It's weird what happens when you touch somebody's heart. Like the Dick saying, home is where the heart is. If you can touch somebody's heart, you can change the entire scope of that opportunity. Now, secondly, as an agent, you need to be a lot more professional when sending and receiving offers, because that's just going to make your client's agent, your co-agent, I should say, not client's agent, your co-agent, have a better relationship, because you've already been like, this is a scripting moment. I'm really glad we touched on, because I saw a lot of this weekend, is how do you feel like this interaction is going to go? I've never talked to you on the phone. I texted you, said, hey, I'd like to show your house. Is it available? I never texted you or called you or told you I'm sending an offer. I just emailed it over, and the offer just says, please find attached purchase offer for your listing at 123 Main Street. Thanks.
There's a lot of motivation with that.
So
Did also pick up the phone and call her and say, what's most important to your client? Because they had just said that, what was on team meeting last week? I'm like, sure, I'm going to go ask. Maybe it's obvious, maybe it's price, but maybe it's not obvious. So she said a 30-day close. So this is really interesting, because after we'd already written that and they're countering this one thing, she goes, the lady who hadn't been home because of her brother dying says, oh, could we have 45? We'd like to get our house sold first. I'm like, well, they said 30 was the most important thing, a 30-day close. So we talked to the lender. He's like, it's no big deal. They don't need to sell their house first. We're fine. And she agreed to keep it at 30 days. So again, really important to call and ask that question. What's most important to the seller? So it made a difference, I think.
If I could just say something too, also, isn't there almost when you negotiate, whether the agent to agent or your client, you get them to list a house with you, or your buyer to get the sale, it's a wooing process. It's like asking someone on the first date. If I asked someone on a date, first time, and I sent them a text, I hardly knew them, I say, please see attached information where I'd like to take you to. Here's the menu, pick out what you want, and I'll meet you there. How many dates would I get? It's important to, I don't want to say this, that strong, but if you treated every opportunity as if your life depended on it, if you had to do the very best job you could do, imagine how successful you would be.
I think it does depend on it, Dick.
I even take, weekly baths, weekly showers, just because I believe in it.
Even if you need it or not, right?
That's right.
Now, the importance of how you serve up something is going to be paramount in this market right now. So sending an email, what can you put on the email to set yourself aside than the guy that just says, please find attached offer?
Well, you should introduce yourself Tell them that you're looking forward to working with them as, co-agent.
Right.
Let them know how excited your clients are. Um, maybe give a little history about your clients. You can put that love letter like you said the other guy did up front in the email, before even before the offer even goes in. Just we'd like to show your house. They're excited. They've been looking around even before they ever walk in to see the house. Introduce yourself to the co-agent, and this is my clients. We've been looking at several houses, but they've just fell in love with your house looking at it on the MLS. So, just to me, personality and connecting and.
What if you? Here's an idea. It's crazy, maybe, but what if your buyers weren't that ugly, if they were halfway decent looking, take a picture of them standing in front of the seller's house and say, "This is my wonderful clients. They really like your house. We hope that you look favorably upon our offer. We've attached a letter, and we're really excited."
Well, the other day, Lisa cautioned us about too much personal stuff because people could discriminate based on, it doesn't matter what, they're too tall, they're too short, they're the wrong color. So I guess I would caution against that particular.
Is there a shortage of house? Is there a shortage of houses to buy in this market? Is it a seller's market? Is there not enough houses to handle the buyers? We have to put the edge on our buyers. Now, and that's why I preface it by saying, if your buyers aren't too ugly, Well, no.
I mean, you do that quick.
Well, no. There are people, I'm going to advise them, don't hide behind the bushes. Let's place the offer.
Okay, if they look like models and you don't think that they're going to be discriminated against.
No, they're all American couple. And then you tell the other realtor what you're doing. Make the other realtor your advocate. Create that relationship. Unless the guy's ugly on the phone, then you may want to back off. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Right, Teresa?
Well, I'm not going to judge what my clients look like, but at the same time, I do believe in connecting with the other side. Even before you see the house, just be friendly, open that window of conversation, of cooperation, and let that be the whole thing. Let's get this deal done together, a win-win, and then have it going even before they even go look at a house. So that way they know who you are. That's my feeling. So
when you sit down with your buyers, you sit down ahead of time and say, will you do what it takes in order, when we find the house you want, do you want to win it? And if you want to lose it for $1,000 or $2,000, you want to win this house, your dream house, the house that you feel that you're falling in love with. And how will you feel if you lose it? What will you do? What are you willing to do? Will you let me be your tutor, your mentor, and let's help you win this house?
Yeah, my transaction I had in December, my buyers, they were so sweet and they did listen. We were wanting more, but reality was you're going to lose this house.
Let me ask a dumb question.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a buddy of mine in college who was going out with a girl, and she wasn't much to look at. I would, he said, well, what do you think of her? And I would say, well, she has a nice smile, or she's sweet. The words like nice and sweet really have no impact. And that's why I'm saying, use your creative juices. Don't lie. Don't be a phony. But you're competing with the only realtors who are really presenting offers right now are the best realtors. Most of the realtors aren't doing shit. So I'm saying, give your client the edge. Have that little talk ahead of time and say, what are you willing to do?
Yeah.
But don't go too far because that could be illegal.
Setting the expectation that we're going into battle, I think, is really important right now, because I've had also a couple sign calls and people are like, oh yeah, I'm looking, and if they don't have an agent yet, they just come out and say, because they don't want to be surprised later that toughest market, least inventory in a dozen years, more buyers in, because of low interest rate, and just really try to prep them to know you've got to be ready to do this and not be tentative about it. So setting those expectations really important.
Well, you mentioned the key word, going into battle. Every realtor on this call every morning at 8:00 is a Keller Williams. It's a KW Warrior, and we go into battle every time for our clients. But we do it ethically because we're not going to do anything to hurt the other client. And if it's a win-win or we don't win, that's our model. So if you take passion and you attach it to all the knowledge you understand and all the mechanics you have of your business, oh my God, you're going to attract a lot of buyers. You're going to make a lot of other realtors really want to do business with you, and you're going to give the edge to your clients. You got to put passion in your business. And whatever happened to Dan?
He had to go ahead and carry on. He had to take a call. So
okay.
You're doing great. You're our faithful leader here, right?
Well, that's why he's letting me talk so much, I guess, because he's on another call. But you know something? I love Keller Williams. I love the people that work here. I love the fact that we're the #1 real estate company in the entire world. And we're taking Tucson by storm. And every person on this call, you have enough guts to get in there and show your kisser on the video and talk and share your success stories and your problems. And I'm so happy to rub elbows with you. All right. And anything that I'm sure every one of you would help anyone else on this call.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love your clock, Teresa. I think you're about a minute slow, but no, don't get ticked off now. All right.
I was going to share another quote or just idea from Bold last week. They talked about people's motivation, and how running away from pain is always more powerful than toward pleasure. And, he even repeated it because he's like, it doesn't sound like it would be true, but humanly, apparently that's true. And so their point was to get to people's pain point. What was it was really making them want to sell or buy, and really hone in on that. So I just thought, we don't necessarily always think of it like that, but it might be helpful. Because I use that with this client. Like, well, I know you were really anxious to get out of this neighborhood because you're really tired of the HOA, and just trying to touch on a couple of things because she seemed more reticent than him, to go forward. And I was trying to think, okay, what can I touch on that she really hates right now, and trying to think of that pain point. So just
it's like looking at the glass being half empty and half full. On the other side of the coin, I can say is a lot of people say, well, I'll do it until it hurts. So look at your clients. I tell you what I do. Every client I got, I vet them. I go on social media. I check them out. I check out their Facebook. Every realtor I work with, I do the same thing. The more I know about the people that I'm doing business, the better that I can isolate and put together a strategic, comprehensive marketing plan or plan for success for them. And they may be pain related. Well, if they are a person who wants to avoid pain, well, I'll let them know what all the pain that they could have. But if they're a person who wants to go for the gusto, then we go for the gusto. But you got to you are the conductor of your own orchestra. You are the maestro. So know your audience. There's a book, I recommend it, called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Odd Bendino. It's a little paperback book, that thick, and they sold 15 million copies of it. And it's a story about Paul the Apostle being a young man working for a tent maker as a intern. And the master tent maker told him about how to sell his tents. And one of the greatest lines is, when you're in Rome, be like the Romans. When you're in Philadelphia, be like the Philadelphians. Know your audience. And we forget at times that we're salespeople as well. And it's very important for us to be successful salespeople, not only for our families, but for our clients. I mean, can you imagine if you keep presenting an offer for some buyer to different homes and they lose every time? You're going to think, ah. And I feel bad about it because I want my clients always to win. Unless, of course, they're ugly and they're mean to me. Then I say, well, let them lose, you know. But seriously, put the passion down and write the passion.
Uh-oh.
You know, Teresa, you got to watch that cough of yours. All right. I'm teasing you.
Should we ask if anybody else has any other issues that they'd like to discuss before we wrap up? Any other problems out there?
Humility. I am working to promote humility.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't.
Do you like the idea, by the way, a home is where the heart is?
Yeah, that's nice.
That came to me because my wife forces me to watch the Hallmark movies. And someone said that. I said, oh my God, I got an idea. So this is going to be my new marketing thing. And if you ever saw the movie Matchmaker, I am Yenta, the matchmaker. And I'm a big, tall, good-looking matchmaker. Now I'm only in my own dreams, all right? I'm not as egotistical as you might think, but it's a fun thing to play around with, all right? But think let yourself go free and let yourself really let loose with your passion and say, how can I really make people buy from people for reasons. They buy from people they like, they trust, they feel they're confident, and render a good value. Every time you meet somebody for the first time, you're judging them, whether you believe it or not, and you don't want to be sold anything. But once they provide you evidence that you're likable, trustworthy, competent, and render a good value, you're going to say, "Ooh, I can buy." So let yourself really plan on sharing who you really are. Love thy clients as thyself for the love of thee.
Okay.
Teresa, you had something you wanted to share?
Well, yeah, it was, I don't know whether it's the commercials about the interest rates are low, go out there and buy a home, but I'm finding that so many people, that I'm contacting and they're like, yeah, we want to buy a house, we want 3-bedroom, blah, blah, blah. And they're not, they haven't even talked to a lender yet. They don't even know, they don't have an idea what their financial situation is. I've got, I don't want to say, tons of people that are in that stage. So it's like connecting them with the lender.
I've had a ton of those too, Teresa.
It's just ridiculous.
I think that, well, people are raising rents, which I think is pushing more people to want to buy. And then I think people kind of also saw that, lenders are giving people relief months with buying. So maybe if I buy a home, I cannot have to pay for a couple months.
Yeah, something strange. Yes. So many, they're just crawling out of the woodwork like, oh
yeah. I have like 6 or 7 right now that I've gotten in contact with lenders that aren't closed or are just like on that borderline of not being able to get approved. So
yeah.
Do you have a strategic relationship with a lender?
Do I?
Yeah, think about it. Do you have one lender that really is your go-to person for mortgage?
For credit repair, yes.
Okay,
I
good.
got two. Both of them have credit repair agencies.
I have one that's better than the other, so I normally go to the one.
I tell you, as a vendor, I would rather have, I believe in having really one person that I trust so much that I create that relationship with, because I have more muscle that way. I have more pull that way. And I talk to them ahead of time, whether it be a home inspector or whatever. I want to give you all my business. Take care of my clients.
Yeah, it's they're both working very hard. but it's just when your credit score is under 500, it's a little difficult to get you where
Well,
you need to
You
be.
get them started into the funnel and to pass it off to the lender and then move on to the next 550 person or the 600 person. You just keep filling the funnel. And one of these days, that 500 person will say, Teresa, I'm at 700. I'm ready to buy. And then you say, well, have you found a realtor yet?
Back up forever, but man makes that easier. So it's
Yeah.
good you ladies have those opportunities coming up, though.
Key thing is have fun, people. This is a great industry. It is a wonderful. I gave up 20 years of being an insurance agent, and I gave it up overnight just to stay in real estate and devote all my time to it because I'm here in Tucson, the land of milk and money. Not milk and honey, but milk and money. Beautiful people, wonderful food, gorgeous area. I don't have to shovel snow. And to tap it off with the icing on the cake, I work for Keller Williams Southern Arizona with some of the finest people in the world. So start really buying into what you really believe and tell people this is what I believe in. Your passion will bring you a lot of business. You don't need to sell every person. All you need to do is sell 1/10 of 1% of the people you talk to, and you're a millionaire. Did you know that? We all think, oh, we don't want to lose this person. We don't want to lose this person. Well, be yourself. Do the very best you can. If it doesn't work, bring more people. That's why you got command. Bring everybody into it and have fun with it, because there isn't a person on this call that is not a person that people would like, trust, feel are confident, and render good value. Have fun.
Well done, Dick. Well done.
Thank you. Oh, Okibioni, whatever. I'm sorry. That slipped off. I'm sorry.
Well, guys, happy Monday. We are 2 minutes over. I think Dick's absolutely right. Have fun with it. I heard a little bit. I apologize about that. A friend was calling me to let me know that her aunt died yesterday. So that was kind of a call I had to take. And I'm glad that you guys were able to self-script and run through some stuff. It sounds like you all listened to Dick for a while. I can see the smiles. Go out there, make Monday great. If you need me, call me, text me, email me. I'm here for you.
You're the man, Big Dan. Oh, that's great. You're the man, Big Dan.
All right. I got a new tagline. Thanks, Dick.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.